What's up, my friends? Coach Jan here at CrossFit Liberate. Excited to be with you again for another at-home workout. Today is Monday, September 7th, and this workout is called Big Baller. So we've got an 18-minute AMRAP here, trying to get as many rounds and reps as possible across 18 minutes. And we have 3 different odd object weightlifting movements on top of some over and back line hops. And the name of the game today is going to be chipping away at big sets of these movements. And we're looking to get somewhere between 1 to 1.5 rounds across the 18 minutes of work today. All right, let's take a look at our warm-up for Big Baller. So today we've got 1 minute of line hops, going into 30 seconds of slow air squats, one minute of push-ups to down dog, .30 seconds of glute bridges, one minute of our active Samson stretch, and then 30 seconds of flutter kicks. For our mobility work, we're gonna go into 45 seconds of each side of an odd object ankle stretch, really trying to drive that knee forward over the toes and get a big stretch through that ankle. And then we'll get down to the floor for a prone pec stretch, where we swing the hips over towards an outstretched arm, getting a big stretch through the chest, shoulder, and bicep. All right, let's take a close look at Big Baller. So here we have an 18-minute AMRAP, 50 odd object thrusters, 40 over and back hops over the odd object, 30 odd object deadlifts, 20 odd object push press, and 20 odd object bent over rows. So the majority of this longer AMRAP workout is spent on moderately loaded odd object weightlifting movements. On top of some over and back hops, we'll lift our odd object in 3 different movements. The name of the game here is chipping away at manageable sets to keep steadily inching forward. The goal is to choose weights and variations that allow you to complete 1 to 1.5 rounds today. On the odd object thrusters, you'll hold that weight in the front rack, squat below parallel, and jump the weight overhead. Note that there is no rebend of the knees after the press. The knees should stay locked out. With this being the highest rep count movement on each set and being a longer range of motion movement, let's choose our odd object weight based on this movement. Choose a weight that allows you to move through 50 reps here in no more than 3 minutes using 3 to 4 sets. On your odd object push press, look to clear the station in 1 to 2 sets. Note that there is no rebend of the knees after driving the weight overhead. On your odd object hops, just like the name suggests, you'll jump over the middle of the odd object and back. Over and back is equal to 1 rep. If it helps with scoring, simply count total jumps and cut the number in half at the end. For odd object deadlifts, within the workout, there should be a station that you can clear in no more than 3 sets with the same weight as the thrusters. That odd object must touch the floor in each rep between the feet. And then for your odd object rows, within the workout, there should be a station you can clear no more than 2 sets with the same weight as the thrusters. Adjust reps or choose from a variation listed below to match that recommendation. And then as always, further movement subs and modifications are in the video description below. All right, focusing on our movements today, let's look at the thrusters and push press. You'll want to think about finishing the drive. We have 2 movements that finish with a press overhead in today's workout. In the thruster and push press, the movement pattern is the same, which means there is a lot of potential for high interference in the shoulders. To offset some of that interference, we can dial in the timing of the leg drive to press with the arms. The more effectively we can use the legs, the more strain it takes off the shoulders. This can allow to sustain bigger sets throughout. Look to straighten the legs hard before doing any pressing. It can be helpful to think of this press as a follow-through to the leg drive instead of its own part of the movement. Jump and finish, don't squat and press. For the over and back odd object hops, think about that quarter squat. In the hops over the object, we want to maintain a soft bend in the hips and the knees. The legs will never fully straighten during this movement. This allows for good absorption of the impact of landing and makes for a quick transition from jump to jump. In the deadlifts, let's think about the setup. With a moderate weight, we're likely completing these deadlifts in several sets. This means we'll have time to set up for the first rep more than just a couple times. Every time we approach the object, we can focus on these three things in order to be lifting the weight off the ground. Object between the ankles, hands just inside the legs, and pull the hips and shoulders down into position. Having this routine can help you get set into a good position to start each set. Finally, on your odd object rows, think about squeeze. Squeezing the legs tightly and pulling the shoulders back tightly and then holding that tension will keep your body in a super solid hinge position, making for a rigid structure against which the arms can pull. All right, so some strategy advice for this workout. So we've got a longer time domain, we've got moderate weights, and we've got big sets. So our plan of attack is gonna be thinking about how we can limit our rest between all of our work intervals to 10 seconds or less. So I suggest creating a plan before you start the workout for how you can maintain those sets with those 10 seconds of rest and execute that plan in the workout for your best chance of success here. All right, y'all, make sure you really get after this thing. As always with CrossFit, we want to bring some intensity to our work. And then make sure you're tracking your progress with your workouts somehow, whether it's with a notebook or with an app like SugarWOD. We want to be showing some progress over time. That's how we know we're getting fitter. And then if you plan on coming back to the gym in person, cannot wait to coach you in real life.